This is the Whole Care Network. Helping you tell your story one podcast at a time. Content presented in the following podcast is for information purposes only. Views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the host and guest and may not represent the views and opinions of the Whole Care Network. Always consult with your physician for any medical advice, and always consult with your attorney for any legal advice. And thank you for listening to the Whole Care Network.
Welcome to the I Saved You, Now Do the Dishes podcast. I'm author and speaker Carrie Severson. In each episode, I'll share stories and tips from my experience with caregiving and advocacy through my husband's cancer journey.
Remember when yesterday you were working in your underwear?
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Okay, well, welcome back to the I Saved You, Now Do the Dishes podcast. I'm your host, Carrie, and for the last couple of episodes, I've been bringing my husband on since he is...
Your lab rat? I don't know exactly.
Yeah, pretty much, since he was the reason the show kind of came about. Yeah, so we are in season 2. We're on episode whatever. I can't remember. And this episode is kind of special because 2 years ago, right around now, we learned you had cancer.
Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, that sucked. The whole, at first I just thought it was a lump, like I swallowed, I must have strained my neck or whatever.
Yeah, I want to start there. Did you actually really never think it was cancer?
I never said we're 100% certain. It's most likely, probably. There was never so I was always yeah, this is just a cyst, big fat cyst, boil, big pimple.
Yeah, we called it big fat boil.
I was, contemplating because I didn't want to do surgery. I knew that was probably a more effective way with less side effects, as long as they don't clip nerves, of taking care of it, like getting kitchen knives out.
No, but even from the beginning, you woke up with a lump on your neck, and then it was, ultrasound. No, it was go to the doctor. Doctor's like, you need an ultrasound. Ultrasound comes back weird. You need a biopsy. And then we have to wait for weeks. He got a biopsy November 8th, 2023, and we found out it was malignant November 28th, 2023. And in those 3 weeks, that was hard.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was a lot of. Yeah, I remember that. The pit of your stomach. When you're nervous about something.
Yes.
That's what it was like. I did
Constant.
Way too many crunches. My stomach was oh yeah, crunches. But it wasn't crunches. It was that stress of let's get results. Let's get results, and just the waiting. The way I look at it was inexcusable. If something that is life is on the line, the results need to be as quick as humanly possible. Not ship them to Chicago and wait till they get them outsourced to someplace in a foreign country to save some money. Get it done now.
Stop tapping the table.
No tapping?
No, it sounds funny apparently.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, but
I remember that. Yeah.
Those 3 weeks was awful.
Thanks for bringing it up.
I know, but that's what this whole thing is giving caregivers and people going through it a story to because there's updates. So
yeah,
I just got back from Capitol Hill where I advocated for a bipartisan bill called the Older American Act Reauthorization Bill. It supports older Americans with diseases, disabilities that need support, but it also provides support for caregivers. The United States currently has close to 70 million caregivers, family caregivers, unpaid caregivers. And one of the biggest reasons for doing this podcast is to show faces of people who've been through it, that, we are a young-ish married couple. And when you think of caregivers, you
I don't
typically think of
youngish compared to what? I think like in your mind, yes, young. We're not young. I want to be young. Hell yeah.
well, when you think of caregivers or people with
Pulled a muscle
cancer,
playing pickleball. That's not young.
no, you
Not
tend to
young.
think of
I wish.
people caring for their parents, not Gen X. You tend to think of
caregivers.
Gen
Okay.
X caring for baby boomers, not spouses. But like, anyway, so that one of the big reasons for doing this podcast is to put faces
Not yet
to
senior
this
caregiving.
issue and stories.
Knock on wood.
But yeah, the waiting game was awful. It was.
That's worse. I guess the hardest part is the waiting, and then like being able to get care. So we really exposed kind of holes in the system where, I think we had an insurance company that that is one of those ones that's available for people that are self-employed, and then we had to potentially go to Tucson and then wait until after I was actually cured, and this thing was growing like I don't know how to like when you light those, they look like Tootsie Rolls. Snake things, the fireworks that grow real quick when you light it. It felt like that. It wasn't growing that quick, but it was definitely moving. Like,
oh, you're talking about your tumor?
Yeah. And if we waited till March to go see some specialists in Tucson, the thing could have been 3 times the size. And
so
we just got lucky.
What he's referring to is, so we November 2023 was the waiting game. He got biopsied November 8th. We actually had a call. We were on hold for several hours, each of us. We had to call around to various facilities trying to actually get him in sooner because his original date was not November 8th. And everyone in our life was like, speed is the thing that really matters. You've got to get this going. It has to be faster. Anyway, so November, we had just moved into this beautiful place a couple weeks prior. Ago, right? Like literally 6 weeks prior to this whole thing falling apart. And I had agreed to host our first Thanksgiving. I never touched a turkey before in my life. The closest thing I came to roasting a turkey was opening. Hey.
I was kidding. I just wanted to see how you react.
That's not true.
I'm glad she likes to pinch. She's a pincher, just so you know.
I've made a lot of turkeys. Anyway, so that year I used my fight or flight, or like my anxiety in the waiting game to learn how to roast turkeys, because we had people coming over to our house for Thanksgiving 2023. I tried 3 different recipes. His favorite thing is turkey trattazzini.
Yeah, it's my favorite use of the
leftovers, which I hate.
To be honest, it would be pretty good. What do you mean hate?
I hate making it.
You ate a lot of it. You fed me for a week when you were in. She went to DC. She made this. She's so great. But she made this turkey tetrazzini, because I was like, oh look, I can buy a turkey for $20-something bucks, and I was like, and it'll feed. This is the best deal ever. You can feed a family of 4 for 4 days. And she made this. She spent 7 hours to make this.
It is a lot. I do not like making it.
And
every time I make it,
every
I tell
day
them,
for a week. It's I lived off that,
which is why I made it, because I was in DC. But anyway, so I did that 3 times in 2023. I made 3 different turkeys, roasted it. We found our favorite recipe, and I had all the leftovers. So I was like a busy bee in the kitchen, just trying to stay busy. But I would constantly text him. I'd be like, did you hear anything? Did you hear anything? Did you hear anything? Which made it worse. He hated it. He would get really mad at me. He's like, he actually said to me, you're making it worse. Stop asking me. You'll be the first to know when I find out. Do you remember that? You got really bad because I would be like constant. What did you hear? What did you hear? What did you hear? It was hard.
I think I can see how that would. Sometimes you get one track, and not very often, but sometimes you're like that. It's like, you think on certain things.
It's totally out of your control, and so you're trying to control something. So for me, my mechanism of control back then was the baking and the cooking or whatever. I don't remember what you did in the waiting. You had to preoccupy yourself somehow.
I can't remember. I mean, I think I probably was checking my email.
It's hard.
They had a website that was really, really bad. God, I have a little disdain for them. I just feel like
The biopsy company.
yeah, the biopsy and the ultrasound, like ultrasound was I think okay with it, but it's still there was just slow. The service was bad. They have lots of locations and they weren't integrated. They weren't able to go, okay, here's the next available appointment based. You want speed? Okay, you can travel here and this is available. They had to check each individual one, and the person that was trying to do it kind of maybe didn't have the enthusiasm to check for the first available thing.
Yeah, it was
So that
hard.
was probably outsourced. And stuff like that shows when
It is outsourced. I've been told it's outsourced. I mean, I just had an MRI in my lower back. I was in a horseback riding accident 20 years ago, and so now I'm kind of suffering through that that reality. And I was told even the MRI, which I had October 16th, just came back because it was outsourced. But it's not the same. So, here's a tip for you caregivers, for you people and going through this. If you do wake up with something weird that you need to get checked out, if you go to the ER, you go directly there and you start from the very, very beginning. And I've said this before, if you walk into the hospital, you get treated there, you get results there, you get scans there. Everything is at a very different pace than what we did in the beginning, which was piecemealing it.
mm-hmm.
So Thanksgiving 2023 happens.
And looking back,
we should have probably done that in the beginning.
Should have went directly to the
I know. Don't say
emergency
it.
room. But it's not going to be cheap. It's be I don't know if I'm guessing if
it was
probably a couple of different. They were multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars for the whole thing, and then I don't know what it would have been, but oftentimes that particular portion is covered by insurance, depending on who your insurance is. But this hospital tends to be out of network for just about everyone because it's the most expensive. It works, but it's ridiculously expensive.
So he gets a phone call the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, and it's late in the day. I had just taken down this and put Christmas up that day, that Tuesday. And I'm sitting in grocery store parking lot. I'm sitting in Fry's grocery store parking lot. And at this point, we're on like high alert. So every noise my phone makes, it's like an instant look. And I get a beep, and it's a text from him. And it's nothing but a forwarded voicemail. Do you remember what the voicemail said?
Yeah, it was something like, oh, it came back. It's cancerous. We need to get on this right away. Here's a specialist thingy. And I remember I like my doctor. I think he recently retired and sold his practice to somebody else. But because the results came back on Black Friday, he didn't call me till Monday or Tuesday. I was like
pissed.
I was pissed because I knew, at least the way I thought of it, each second counts, like in this particular instance. Yeah. And so I was like, flip this. And then we went to the emergency room place. Said, that's, get it on like Donkey Kong. Because it was, I mean, that was, there's that.
You walked out.
I'm going to say the word. Shit needed to happen. It needed to happen fast. I didn't need a committee. I didn't need to see another consultation. I needed something to tap this table more, and also just get moving, get results. Not like it feels like what they do is, let me do all these tests so we can run up the diagnosis chart. You already know what the F it is. They just like, let's run the billing up with, anywho.
Yeah.
And I knew, so we went to this place, and like literally they did a PET scan with contrast. We had the results like in an hour and a half compared to, days or weeks. That makes a huge difference between life and death and something that's like a fast growing. I'm guessing I was type 2 or type whatever, stage 2 or 3 in the thing. They wouldn't tell me.
Yeah, there's so much to unpack right now. Okay, hang on one second. I want to back it up.
So ADD on that one.
Yeah, so he gets the voicemail, and the doctor, it's his primary care physician. It is a voicemail. He left him a voicemail, and I've talked about this. I've written about this. It really was, hey, Gavin, just got the results. I'm sorry to tell you. I told you I was going to call you as soon as I got it. I just got it. It is malignant. You need to get on it. Here's a specialty ENT. Here's his number. I sent him a bunch of stuff. He's really good. I'm sorry this isn't better news. And that was it.
Yeah, you have a much better. That's exactly what he said.
Oh, I listened to that voicemail probably 500 times. I listened to it and I was like, he has cancer. Okay, what is? And then he said the actual cell, and nobody could understand
squamous cell carcinoma.
Yeah. And so then I sent it to my parents right away, And I'm like, he has cancer. And I didn't go grocery shopping. I drove right home. And then on the way home, which is like a 5-minute drive, my mom called crying. My dad was like, you need to get on this. You need to call this guy. You need to do this, that, and the other. And I walked in the house. I don't remember driving home. I had my purse in my hand and my keys in my hand. You were standing right here right next to the sink, staring at the sink. And I was like, are you okay?
Yeah.
And you're like,
no. The best thing about ADD is you forget stuff like this, and you can completely like not remember that traumatic experience.
So I'm like, I'm so sorry, honey. And you're like, yeah, me too. And we hugged. And then you took a notepad and you walked into the bedroom. Mm-hmm. And then next thing I hear is you talking to somebody and you left a voicemail for that guy. And we never heard back from him. Like, you called this ENT.
The specialist guy?
Yeah, you never heard back from him. Which is why. So that was November 28th.
I think I did, but I think it was a couple of days later. I can't remember. Just set an appointment, and then like the appointment was at like another 2 weeks or something. Okay. I was like, this is not gonna work. It needs to come in right now.
So then December 1st is when December 1st, 2023.
Yeah, that was. I was like,
this
shit ain't happening. It's either right the now or. Like it's not like
but that's what most people face in America, which is why I feel so passionate about doing this and we talk about this all the time. But like, so we're in this waiting game. December 1st, 2023. I'm sitting at a coffee meeting with my writer friends, and I get a text from you, and you're like, "I want to be the captain of my own ship. I'm walking into the ER. I'm going to ask for imaging." And I was like, all right, I'll meet you there. And that's what we did. You walked in, you walked up to the person behind the counter, and you're like, I have a little bit of cancer. I'd like someone to take a picture of it. That's what you said. Mm-hmm. I'll never forget it. My skin was crawling because I was like, a little bit of cancer? Okay, well, we have no idea, whatever. But yeah, then that day, you got a CT scan. That's all they would do, was a CT scan.
Yeah, with contrast. I think they injected you with like a sugar solution or
the PET scan came later. Like the PET scan came later. It did. I promise you.
All right.
Because
I can't
this
remember.
Is how I remember.
I think they did with.
I have a much better memory of this whole thing than you do.
That's probably true.
Because we were in the hospital. I had to leave you to go get both boys from school, and then I texted my mom and I was like, I need you to watch the kids because this is what he's doing. And so I drove from the hospital, got both kids, drove over to mom's house, dropped them off, came back to the hospital, and we were still waiting for your results. So as I'm sitting there, the results come back. Attending physician comes back in. She's got a piece of paper, and she reads the piece of paper saying it's metastasized, head and neck cancer. And you said, so I have throat cancer. And then she hands the paper to me and shuts her eyes. And I read that paragraph that said head and neck cancer along the lymph nodes and on the base of your tongue.
Right. Wonderful.
And then she left. And we're like, what are our next steps? And she's like, in the ER. We had a consult with somebody else in a couple of weeks. She said, keep that. And that was it. Like, we left the hospital without any
Oh, you forgot the best part.
Which was what?
The priest coming along. So yeah, new Christian, but like the priest came, like, he was going around visiting people. I thought it was because I had head and neck cancer. He's coming like kind of like last rites. It's like, shit. Anyway, so and we're like, this and that. And you say, it didn't make me feel better that much. Like, I know he meant to feel better. I mean, did he?
I don't remember.
Advanced my theological understanding of things, but at the time, I was like,
Are you sure it was that meeting?
Oh, hell yeah, it was that one. I remember exactly. We were in the ER. We were in the ER. He walks around. I was like,
okay.
We just got the results. It wasn't like before the results. It was after the results, too, which just made it worse.
Okay.
If it was before the results, I would have been like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
After, it was like, oh, it's worse than you think.
It's bad. I mean, like, the whole thing was messed up.
But the good news about that is I was able to call and get into that hospital system with
you did a really good job. That was
payment of funds. Not initially, it was relatively small, but it was more than my first house, about twice as much.
Yeah, we we're grateful we had some support financially to do it because not a lot of people do. But
very lucky.
So as soon as she hands me the paper, she says, I read the results to him. She walks out, and then that was it. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get the boys. And then on the way home, you texted me and you were like, I don't want to tell people. I don't want to talk about it. We had not told the boys that you had cancer yet. And then you were like, but I need to, that's when you like went on the rabbit hole of figuring out nutritional things that you needed to shift.
I remember seeing a movie called The Beautiful Truth, and which was like, it's all about like eating organic vegetables and fruits to help your body with natural healing, and no touching the table. Apparently, that's also supposed to be good for, but no touch. And there was even like a YouTube video of some guy looked like he was LDS or something, and like prayer and eating because he had some kind of untreatable cancer, and it worked for him. But like we definitely tried it. Art, you made this horrible tasting potato stuff that they said like cook everything relatively low heat, fresh veggies, and it didn't affect the tumor as far as I could tell.
And actually,
I wanted it to, but it didn't.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that next time because we went down this rabbit hole of eating organic, and
organic.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, even like some kind of like.
He lost like 10 pounds between
anti-worm stuff for pets too. There was something about that.
Oh yeah,
too.
I think I talked about that last season, but it'll be much more fun to talk about it with you. But here, so yes, November 28th, 2023, our lives changed. We moved from a young-ish couple, moved into this home. We were only married 3 years at that point. And we've been through more than most couples have been married.
A few years. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's been challenging just because of, my own, the baggage that I brought because of the previous marriage. That added some additional layers of complexity.
Cancer definitely is not one for, 0 out of 10 stars. Like I don't recommend this challenge ever. I pray, you don't have to ever face this. But for those caregivers who are in it, particularly this holiday season, we're thinking of you. We're praying for you. If there's anything we can do for you, please reach out. There are tons of resources that you can grab. I'll mention a couple. First of all, Meal Train is a great organization that highly recommend. It will bring your community together, providing you meals, but then also funds right away. Another one is Lasagna Love. And a third one is Reason for Cleaning. If you are a cancer caregiver and you need your house cleaned, please reach out to them. They will come twice during cancer treatment and clean your house.
Oh, one more thing. I've noticed there side effects from proton radiation, head and neck, is like my teeth on the bottom are starting to like chip. They're like super sharp. So definitely remember, I think I did this but definitely remember to brush your teeth a lot when you are going through head and neck cancer as much as you can. And then, that's it. That just something I figured I could help somebody out with type of thing. It's, it's better than being dead, but like bottom teeth are kind of like disintegrating a little bit. And then like, just, I don't know. I don't trust dentists at all. It's just drill and bill. I just think that
honey.
Anyway, sorry. That's way off track, but that's, thanks for being married to me.
Yeah. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving. We love you. We'll see you later. If you are a caregiver, always remember it's okay to have somebody else do the dishes.
That's right.
Bye-bye.
Somebody else.
This is the Whole Care Network. Helping you tell your story one podcast at a time. Content presented in the following podcast is for information purposes only. Views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the host and guest and may not represent the views and opinions of the Whole Care Network. Always consult with your physician for any medical advice, and always consult with your attorney for any legal advice. And thank you for listening to the Whole Care Network.